Did you um, hear about the USS Abraham Lincoln? What's going on with that, bro? There hasn't been a lot of news, I would say, and since our last podcast, but this one I found out about, and there's not a lot of people talking about it. Even news stations that you would think would be talking about it because it does make the current admin look bad in a way, but. Dude, the USS Abraham Lincoln is an aircraft carrier that's been out in the Strait of Hormuz, Iranian area, and they are working on the blockade. And it is so bad because they are running out of like good food. There's like no one's got any like deodorant. It's sad. Deodorant. The conditions are terrible. Yeah, you got to look this up. There's been like 6 suicide attempts. People, it's so bad. People are jumping off the side of the ship and like,
What?
yeah, dude, no one's talking about it, but they've been out there for like almost a year. I think it's like been 250, 300 days. Yeah. Yes, dude.
Whoa.
You thought our ATs were bad. Imagine that times like they're losing their minds because like they're being worked hard. They can't like take proper hygiene care of themselves. The food is like they're eating like Velveeta and like bad bread. And I'm like, why? I don't know how something like this happens, but like a lot of our leadership has been like saying, I'm not trying to say names specifically, but they're downplaying it like it's nothing. And finally, I think the George Washington is on its way to relieve them, but it took like a long time and no one's talking about this. And I was just thinking to myself, how cool would it be if you were like a senator or a congressman? Because like one senator or congressman, everyone, all service member, they're ahead of everybody. Just showed up on a helicopter, landed it, was live streaming it. Things would get fixed real quick, but they don't do stuff like that. I just think it'd be awesome if they're like a billionaire congressperson and you just take your helicopter out there and just land it on the boat and start live streaming until, I don't think it's that hard to send helicopters or relief out there with just crates of supplies. This isn't a difficult problem unless they think they're going to get shot down or something. This is crazy, I think. So if you're going to run this war, which is already pretty unpopular and pretty stupid, if you ask me, at least feed the people, right, that are doing it. They're hopping off the side of the boat. Do you know how hard it is to have that? Because they're not going to ports and getting relief. Let me walk around in the land and get some normalcy. I know that.
It's like the Odyssey.
It's dude, exactly like
They're
that.
they're stuck on the boat.
Man.
So for people who don't know, the USS Abraham Lincoln is an aircraft carrier. So the whole top of it is literally a landing pad. There should be no issue as far as supplies. I don't know why that's even a thing.
Just land some stuff on there, bro.
Landed or I mean, they have also an intake on the back of it where you can ride boats into it. So I don't know.
I think you and me will be able to get supplies there pretty freaking fast. There are plenty of ways to do it. They're like texting their parents and stuff. They're trying to they're reaching out and like people were complaining and like no one was doing anything. There's been 6 suicide attempts that we've heard of. They cover things up. There was one other besides this. I don't want to get off topic, but like some other aircraft carrier, I think a year ago, like they didn't know where one of these guys was. He was like hiding down in the engines and stuff for like months and months because he was so over the whole thing.
Wait, there were some guys skating in the engine room?
Yeah. Nuts.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
But I thought this was shocking.
This left real quick for USS. They've been deployed for 260 days. 200 days without a port call. Well, of course, they're just sitting out there. 5,000 sailors and Marines. Oh, those Marines are going crazy on that ship.
It's over 8.5 months. At what point do they just start killing leadership?
So this is what Trump said. On August 15th, Trump was asked whether the Lincoln had been deployed for too long. He replied that it had not been nearly long enough. What? Scumbag.
I know. Yeah.
Scumbag.
Yeah, and then Pete Hegseth was saying how it completely out of context. It's not that big of a deal. And it's like, guys, you guys suck.
I mean, if you have people on board, crewmen, if you have military personnel complaining and you're not listening to those complaints, that's bad leadership.
Terrible leadership.
Especially if the food's bad.
Yeah, that's the
Like
least you can do.
you, you gotta you gotta feed these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't get a lot of. There's not a lot of wins that you get throughout the day when you're in the military. Good
No.
food is one of them, though.
Yes. And being able to shower, bro.
So they don't have clean water.
I don't know the exact situation for the hygiene. I just know that like people are running out of deodorant and like it's just real bad in terms of like, so everyone stinks, everyone's hungry, not getting good food, morale is low. I'm just shocked no one, they're not killing people at this point. And I had this thing that like if they do a ground invasion, I would love to just see everybody put down their arms and like we're not doing that.
They don't even do the invasion. They're just like,
Yeah, not gonna do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to drive that boat yourself, Captain.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Be a good movie, but yeah, it kind of sucks that it took this long to get some relief out there, and I don't even think they've had relief yet. It's like it's gonna take weeks to get home.
So there's basically plumbing and facility issues that they've run into. And there's a shortage of personnel and supplies to fix those issues. So there's been food issues, sanitation issues, long working hours. Also, why are there long working hours? You're just sitting in the bay.
I thought the exact same thing yesterday when I logged. I'm like, why are you?
You're not doing anything. I mean, unless you had maybe the intel portion of that ship, I could see them or counterintelligence. I could see those guys doing something, but it's not like it's a nuclear ship. It's not like they're throwing coal into the engine bay,
Yeah, right. I guess I don't know much about, naval warfare and how like this type of ship specifically works, but I guess it just takes this many people to keep everything running. I have no idea. I don't get, they're sitting there. It's not like they're out at sea. Like, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Yeah, they're kind of just, it is weird. Well, this stems from an absolute cluster of issues that have come from just us being involved in this mess. And one, we shouldn't be involved with this at all. We shouldn't have the relationship that we have with Israel. We're the richer, we're the more wealthy, better looking, stronger, everything.
Yeah.
But somehow we're bending to this country, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's absolutely mind blowing, and it's sick. I don't know if somebody can ever win that is backed by AIPAC or anything. I was thinking yesterday, just as a joke, like if AOC runs against, let's say, JD, I might vote for AOC knowing that like the borders might fly open, the LGBTQ ABC thing will go crazy. But at least they're promising like student loan forgiveness, a higher minimum wage, cracking down on these healthcare costs. Like we've gotten nothing from this other guy except like cuts to like the corporation, more war. Generally, every Republican goes to some sort of war. The Dems do too, but there's been no invasion into them. I might do it just to say, how funny. I probably won't vote at all, but I don't know, dude. Like they're not doing anything on our behalf. Not that any of them really do, but it's just nuts. And there's nothing more sinister and that bothers me as much as being controlled by another country. It just rubs me like you wouldn't believe. Once I found out and like everyone started talking about it, I didn't know how sinister and deep it was, and it was nuts, dude. So
we already have enough issues, and then you realize that there's some dot on the map that has just our country by the groin.
Yeah,
and it's wild to see. It's wild to see, and then it makes you just go, was there some weird deal that happened after World War II? With all of the allies.
Mm-hmm.
Or, the issue with AOC and those individuals is they are heavily involved with communism and socialism. So you have that. Then you have JD, who will 100% be running. He'll probably be the Republican candidate or Republican, I guess, nominee, whatever they call it. And JD Vance is backed by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel's into robots, like, do you want to believe, you know, like big robot guy,
Ha!
like, yeah,
He's pro robot.
yeah, he's probably into young robots too,
You know, probably
I don't know.
male
I'm
robot.
joking.
No,
I'm
no,
joking.
no.
Yeah, definitely male robots for sure.
Just kidding.
But
Never mind.
it's just, you know, I don't know. JD Vance is Catholic, so I'm like, that's good. And then I'm like, well,
He's also
you
like in
know,
an interracial marriage, or not. I don't care about the interfaith marriage. He became Catholic recently. It's like, no, can't really
it's
question
hard to
someone's faith. But
it's hard to trust anyone in politics that says anything
God, bro,
at all, especially after Trump, because, Trump was kind of like, you know, the last bastion of hope because people jump into that party this time around more than the first time around, and a lot of them were Democrats and independents because they were like, oh, he's changing it up. He tried to get assassinated. He's got JD Vance. It's different this time. We kept saying it's different this time. It's different this time, and then Trump comes around and just, you know, he does us dirty one more time, and it's
I
like,
know,
no, it's not different. At the
right?
end of the day, Trump is a businessman and he's going to care for Trump and the Trump family. And they're the ones that are making all the money, especially in the crypto market. It's sad to see what they've done with rug pulls as
Yeah,
a president. You know, it's crazy that happened and that's a thing and that's legal and they made billions off of just regular retail consumers.
yeah.
Trying to, oh, Trump's got a coin. That's my guy. I'm gonna get it. And then, you know, it's
Just
sad.
completely ripped off his own supporters. And if you look
I know.
into the amount of corruption that is going on, like I'm not saying this just to say it. It's actually true. Like if Biden or Obama did this level of corruption, the Republicans would be going absolutely crazy. And or the Clintons, like pay to play. What Trump has done is unprecedented corruption. When you see, like, remember Qatar gave us the jet, that nice Air
Hmm.
Force One? Shortly
Yeah.
after that, there was something that happened with Qatar, like they stopped getting tariffs or something. It was something ridiculous. And there was another country, like they did something different, and then they got some sort of relief because they did something for the administration. Like he's running it like it's a business, and it's not. Or the crypto scam, or the fact that like his sons are investing in all of these drones and war profiteering, or it's disgusting. Or the fact that all the market manipulation that's going on, there's like a bunch of stock trades that are going on by him and his family, like after he tweets, or the fact that like he's opening up the, if you do like $100,000 a month, you'll get access to his early tweets or Truth Social. So you know like which way to invest. And it's like, you've never seen this level of corruption. It's actually like shocking. I watched a video yesterday on it and I was like, man, there's something. He did secure the border. He fought back against the disgusting stuff that was going on with the trans. But like this level of corruption is quite disgusting, and it makes like what the Clintons did and like the other guys. It's like you're talking about billions and billions and billions and shady things that should never be done by someone in office. And yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. They talk about insider trading and Nancy Pelosi's always mentioned and, but
Nothing compared to
no one's like, oh, well, what about the Trump administration? You don't think those people are doing insider trading with their families? You know what I
yeah,
mean? They remind me of the Targaryens, that whole family.
yeah. The crooked
You know what I mean?
Targaryens.
Well, they all just have that vibe, like they're very, I'll tell you this, they get behind their guy, they back up Papa Trump
Yeah,
and no one's really, outspoken against him or anything like that. That's very close with the family. I'm sure you would just get excommunicated if that happened. Though, and then you have all of the Epstein issues. with just the PDF files
Yeah.
and his involvement with that, that whole, that lost him so much as far as, what does the average everyday person think of him? That was just eye opening, I think, to a lot of people.
The fact that he tried to downplay it, because they did release files, but
Well, the whole time leading up to it, there were files. We're going to release the files. He gets into presidency. There's no files.
oh yeah, yeah.
There's nothing to see. And Pam Bondi, his henchman, she's going around. There's no files, this and that. Then they release some files, and it's not enough. And they release more, and they release more, and you can tell it's just an inside job. And then you
Yeah.
have, the head of the FBI. He's very similar in the fact that it's all a very weird and corrupt game. And I get it. They're playing a corrupt game with other corrupt politicians. So maybe they probably think they just have to play dirty along with everyone else playing dirty. And it's the only way to win. And I don't know.
The only thing I can think would change, and this is just a maybe, is that all the boomer and Gen X, they need to die off. And we have to see what well, I mean, a lot of the younger guys, they don't take money from a lot the lobbies and stuff. So it's the only bastion of hope is maybe that the Gen Z and the millennial will get in there and do something. I don't know if it'll be any different, but
Yeah, it's going to take Gen Z, and then it's going to take, what's the next gen after Gen Z?
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha. I've heard Gen Alpha is pretty good too. So I think there's some hope there. Gen Alpha, there was someone who came out saying that the amount of time that they're spending more time on long form videos than quick reels and shorts and things like that.
Gen Alpha?
So they're Gen Alpha.
So they're like the opposite from the Gen Zers.
Apparently they didn't like the flack that all the Gen Z guys got. So they're trying to move away from that generation and do their own thing and not be kind of, I guess, so ADD with the way that they have their attention and where it's kind of focused on.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I had one Gen Alpha employee, and he was pretty cool. Everyone else was Gen Z, and then the Gen Alpha guy he was pretty legit. So we'll see what happens. But, it wasn't always this bad. Like there was always like corruption and bad things going on, but there was lines that people wouldn't cross back in I guess prior to the Kennedy and stuff, and even around then. The worst thing we all knew about was the Nixon thing when he was spying on the other company or the other guys and the Watergate thing, breaking in, trying to get stuff. And it was that was the worst that you have all of this going on with the amount of corruption. It's so it wasn't always at this level, I don't believe. So, which means it could get better.
That's what I think about. Is corruption worse now, or is corruption just more apparent because of social media and the internet?
That's true.
Maybe there were, I'm sure there were maybe PDF rings back in the day, but now it's a thing because people do research, and you can have someone at home with their laptop and they can hunt people down just based off of a small portion of just their background image of wherever they did a selfie at. They can pinpoint where they're at. And these guys, they get crazy, especially the ones on Reddit. And they're like, oh, he was actually with him at this time. And, he was on the flight with him. They get crazy with this stuff.
It is. Yeah. They will, and they all work together and give each other tips. It's nuts what they can, who they can track down.
At the end of the day, though, I agree. I think it's a pendulum. I think it goes crazy one way and it goes crazy the other way. And I think the universe and reality finds a balance, and just the way that it kind of just goes from one to the other. And one generation goes a little extreme. The next one kind of balances it out. It's like an equilibrium, I think, kind of just finding stability.
Yeah. I think it'll get there and it'll even out, like you said. But a whole lot of people need to retire in the meantime.
Yeah. Literally.